Hi, I'm Todd from Metronome Music and Cycle to Go, and today we're going to be installing a Tannus solid tire onto a road bike rim. This here is the tire we're going to be installing. This is the red volcano color. They do come in 14 other colors. They also come in two densities. This is the harder compound, which has a little less rolling resistance. The other one gives a little softer ride. So to start, we need to pull the tire off of the rim that we're going to be putting it on. One thing to check is the Tannus tire will lock into 90% of bike rims, but they do need to have a slight lip or bead ring for the tabs to snap into. If you have one that just flares outward, there'll be nothing to lock the tire into. Tire just like if you were replacing a flat, and this will just set aside. So now when you get the tire, it'll come with a bunch of different plastic tabs. The first thing you want to do is determine the size tabs that will work with your particular rim and tire setup. What you want is you want the tab to be 3.5 millimeters wider than the bead of the tire. So you can either do this by sight, or you can use in this case we're using some digital calipers. So I'm first checking the width of the inside of the bead. I'm going to zero that out. Then with this particular set we got two different tab sizes. We got one that's 17.5 millimeters and one that's 18.5 millimeters. And what we want is we want one that's 3.5 millimeters wider than the bead of the rim. So in this case, this one, right about 3. And that one's almost 4. So a millimeter either way is fine. In this case, I think we're going to go with the one that's slightly smaller because it's a lot easier to press it into to fit. If you're doing it by sight, like I said, you want it to be able to span the gap without being too long. If it's so loose that it falls right in, then it definitely will not work because that won't lock it to the rim. So in this case, we're going to use the orange tabs. As long as it's within a millimeter of 3.5, it'll safely hold the tire on. So next step is to insert the plastic tabs, and you want to put the round side of the tab in toward the middle, the flat part toward the outside. So you can either, there's a little plastic tool that comes with the tire, so depending on how you want to do it, you can either set them all in place and then go around and push them in, or as you're setting them in you can use the tool to kind of push it in, and you want it to be in pretty evenly on both sides, so it should be just starting to poke through on the other side. Now that we've got the tabs poked in place, we're going to go ahead and mount it to the rim. So to start with, it helps if you can get the tire anchored into the rim. So to do that, I'm going to tuck in the tabs on one side, and then using the tool that comes with it, you can use downward force. You can kind of poke the edge of the tire in a little bit. It helps to get it started. And then pressing down on the plastic tab until it clicks, it locks in place. Going over to the second one. It's locked in place. And you're listening for that clicking sound as you're doing this. And after you get it in place, you want to tuck the tire in. started and locked in place, and then get it held against the bottom of the floor using your foot. Rest the tire right into place. The tire on the rim, just need to rotate it so that we get one end of the tab under on one side of the rim and get the tabs ready to press in. Finding where we left off. Again, if you can poke the tire in a little bit, makes it easier.